From the moment we are born, a story is being written. We can't control when that story begins or ends, but we can control what happens during. The people we meet, the places we go, they are all a part of our story. Life can sometimes seem like a very sad and depressing story, and some fall under the pressure, but there are others who refuse to stay down.
This is my story.
This is my story.
This is my story.
This is my story. This is my story. This is my story.
This is my story.
This is my story. This is my story.
This is my story.
This is my story.
My name is Sean Katona, and this is my story. My mom had spent every day trying to bring joy and hope into the household. My father did the complete opposite. I found out at a really early age that my father was a heavy drinker. He did multiple drugs, including alcohol. I remember when he would slam my mom's head multiple times just to get his anger out. I could remember when he first abused me. He had thrown me into a corner and just beat me senseless for no reason at all. It was late one night, and he had said some mean things about my mother, and I told him to stop, and he had turned me around and stabbed me in the back with a knife. He had been staying at the barn because we'd been kicking him out of the house so many times for our own safety. Me and my mom had gone to check on him, and he had stabbed himself 9 times in the chest, slit his throat, and slit his entire arm, and was bleeding on the ground. My mom ran outside, called 911, and I just remember asking him why, and he just told me to leave him alone. So eventually they got him out of there, and they airlifted him to a hospital. The last time I heard from my father, he was in the hospital. He called me and told me that I was just useless, I wasn't worth anything to him or anyone, and I should just end my life as soon as possible because I'm just taking up air on this earth. Then a few weeks later, we get a knock at the door, and a trooper has told us that he killed himself in his truck. It definitely brought on the heavy depression. I was hospitalized at one point because I tried to take my life multiple times. I kind of went towards don't trust any guy, no matter if they're on this earth or in heaven, don't trust anyone. And kind of that's how my relationship with God was. I didn't trust him for such a long time, and eventually I finally just gave up and collapsed and went to him because he was the only thing I really had left. It was late at night. I remember going outside, it was snowing, and I was just standing there like looking up at the stars, and I just kind of gave up and collapsed in the snow, and I just said, I'm done. Either take my life now or help me get out of this. After I embraced Christ, the first thing almost to go was the cutting, because I just kind of found out through Christ that there's no point in hurting myself. I could cut myself, I could get drunk, I could get high, whatever I want to do, but I still come back to the pain. I still get sober and the pain's still there, so it's not going to help anything. It's just going to probably make the situation worse. He was just a constant reminder in my head that like someone does love you, whether no one on this earth does, he does. And that was just a constant reminder playing over in my head that someone does care. It's like he gave me something ugly that happened in my life, but now I'm helping people. It's over, there's nothing I can do about it. I can either sit here and grieve about it, or I can move on and use it to help people who are maybe dealing with their own problems or going through their own problems. Something that I've learned from pretty much the day I found out my dad was a drinker is that life is going to beat you down, and you are the only one that can choose to stay there, or you can choose to get back up. And you can only get through anything you're going through, depression, suicide, anything, with Christ, because he's the only light at the end of the tunnel. So you could fall as hard as you want, it just depends on how hard you get back up.